E-commerce is saturated with gurus telling you one strategy, other gurus saying disregard that strategy, use this strategy instead. And I'm just here to paint a vivid picture on what ultimately moves the needle for your business. Now, myself, I operate a consulting firm called scalevelocity.io. What I do is I manage a portfolio of ecom brands, and pretty much I set them up for exits. Now, the way I do this is by building internal frameworks internally, all in-house, no outsourcing to ad agencies. And as a byproduct, in order to get a high multiple for an exit, you need front-end profit and you need strong LTV. Now, I've spent north of $1 million plus in ad spend just on meta ads alone. And my top 5 mistakes that I see other founders or other people doing really comes from simple fixes that is actually going to yield a positive ROI for your business. Now, the first mistake I see a lot of founders, a lot of media buyers make is optimizing for revenue instead of net profit. Revenue is great, right? Of course, it's just a metric, it's just numbers on a screen. At the end of the day, when you do your P&L analysis at the end of each month, you're ultimately just focused on how much profit you have left over expenses. Now, revenue could equal, if you're trying to be set up for an exit and you want a high EBITDA, maybe revenue has an importance for your business. But if I'm just speaking to the brand owner doing anywhere from $1 million to $10 million a year in revenue, the best way to expand your business is by actually increasing your net profit margin and growing your profit month over month. So the way we shift our frameworks when it comes to these goals of increasing our net profit, it's okay, how do we increase front-end profitability? Well, it's instead of pushing one single SKU or one single product, let's say we push a collection of bundles, let's say to 2 product SKU or 2 product bundle, 3 product bundle, 4 product bundle, whatever we need to hit a gross margin over 75%. That's going to do more for our business than just pushing one single SKU and offering a high discount. Now, at the back end, right, if I'm trying to grow my profit, I understand that the first person that sees my ad, if I'm going fully broad targeting, I'm not doing any interest, I'm not retargeting users, I understand that that person who transacts with my business, that puts their credit card in, they're trying the product for the first time, they're trying this bundle for the very first time, they're not customers. There's no guarantee that that person that enters their credit card from an ad who's never heard about my business is going to come back to buy next month or 60 days from now. So it's very important that we keep an open lens, because our main focus is, we want first order profit, but at the end of the day, what's going to grow our business more than anything else is actually getting increase in second order frequencies. So now this ties into the second mistake that I see a lot of brand owners make, and it's believing first time buyers are customers. As I mentioned before, when somebody comes across a brand new ad, they've never heard about your brand, and they make a purchase, that is just a transaction. Now, of course, there's ways outside of the business to increase your LTV, right? Let's say when somebody does transact with you, you put them on your email list, and then you're hitting them anywhere from 1 to 2 times per week, or you're hitting them via SMS. Or let's say somebody does make a purchase, you drive them to go and join your Facebook community so that they can be a part of something bigger with your brand, and that's going to incentivize somebody to want to increase and buy back from your business multiple times of the year. Maybe it's you have a really good product and that product does all the selling for you and they need to replenish, or they run out of said SKU, then you can push them on a subscription, or they're buying back from your business, right? Those are the areas that are going to actually move the needle for your business. It's having a far superior product than your competitors. It's sending traffic to community, having email flows that follow a sales process. Let's say somebody bought in for a single hero SKU, and then you have a downsell that complements that hero SKU, right? That's probably what you want to push on the back end. You just want to have all in all congruency across the board, and then you want to give somebody a pathway to not only be introduced to your brand, but also giving them a pathway to come back to your business. Now, the third mistake I see is lack of downsells and upsells. Too many times brands just push one single SKU, and what happens is that product they're pushing on the upsell or on the back end, it doesn't complement what that individual just purchased from their ads, right? So it's very important that we organize our email workflows to hit specific users. That, let's say we're running ads on Meta, we're pushing this specific product, we want to make sure our backend email and SMS has symmetry, so that let's say this hero SKUs, the winner they bought from Facebook ads, we have a downsell that just complements that hero SKU. That's what I've noticed time and time again, increase the second order frequency, because we're cognizant of the buyer's journey and ultimately what are the chances of them buying back, and we want to make that curve, or we want to make that friction not present. So with that being said, lack of downsells, lack of upsells, we want to be congruent, we want symmetry across the board. Now the fourth mistake that I see a lot of founders, a lot of media buyers make is ultimately making decisions on a small enough time horizon, right? Time and time again, the more ad spend you spend on a daily basis, well, the more data you're going to get back faster. But I've seen it where, let's say you're doing $1,000 a day in ad spend. You might get purchases after 2 to 3 to 4 days, but I still don't believe 3 to 4 days is enough time for you to make a decision that's going to benefit your business. With Meta, you might have delay in attributions, you might have bugs or disruptions within the ad account that causes your learning curve to go out the window. Really, how we adjust the true longevity of a creative is on a 7 to 10 day horizon and even longer. But of course, we want to make decisions in an efficient manner. So the main variable I look at as far as, is this creative a winner or is this a loser? It's ultimately the amount spent, how long has it been running, and then soft metrics to tell me the story of, okay, what is the click-through rate, what is the CPCs, what are we seeing on the CPM front, who's majority of the audience getting targeted to, and then we tie that back to CPA. But ultimately, I want to look at everything on an incremental lift perspective, right? Because this one single creative could look very terrible on paper, right? Terrible vanity metrics, terrible CPAs, whatever. But if I look at the CPM and frequency, I understand that, let's say this creative does a really good job of driving top of funnel traffic, and it's filling the rest of the funnel for the other creatives that are more middle funnel, bottom of the funnel, to make that conversion. So we want to be cognizant of, okay, are we running ads outside of any other channel? How long has this ad been running for? How does this single ad creative benefit the rest of the funnel? And we want to look at CPM, frequency, CPA to make that decision. And then of course we have our soft metrics to give us the full story, the bigger picture. Now this ties into the fifth and final mistake I see a lot of media buyers make and a lot of founders is overvaluing ROAS. ROAS is just a facade number, return on amount spent. Now your ROAS can go from a 2x one day to a 1.5x the next day, doesn't really matter. But if you don't have a ROAS tied to ultimately your unit economics, you don't understand what you need to hit to turn an actual profit. So even though on your P&L sheet you have profit, you have losses, you're not going to have ROAS as a metric that provides value in your P&L sheet. It's just something that media buyers promote to get control or to get a percentage of, hey, look, I drove this amount of revenue for your business based off of ROAS, right? You're basically overvaluing one single platform instead of other platforms if you were to run traffic, let's say on Google ads or YouTube ads or TikTok ads. So I would actually reverse this approach, and I would say the metrics that actually provide a ton of value are going to be CPA, AOV, CPM, and frequency. That's really all you need to see, okay, if a creative has success, where does it rank within the funnel? And then ultimately, are you within your gross margin targets based off unit economics with CPA and AOV? And that's going to do more for your business. It's going to give you an idea of what you need to fix instead of just valuing ROAS as the North Star metric. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. And if you want to actually exit your business one day, you're tired of getting burned by ad agencies, check out scalevelocity.io. You can read my free 30-page protocol. And if you're interested, you want to skip the phase of getting burned by ad agencies, make sure you book a call down below. See you in the next one.